Hello fellow football connoisseurs and welcome back to the Quick Take. In this video I'll be going over the Jose Mourinho news, of course, along with providing an update for Armando Broja's future.
Before I continue, I would like to quickly remind you I am running a giveaway with OwnASaber.com where at 15,000 subscribers you could be in with a chance at winning the King of London lightsaber, the perfect saber for every Chelsea fan. 3 participants will be chosen and all you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel and check the pinned comment down below for more information. And with that, on with the video.
So, starting straight off with the Jose Mourinho news. Breaking: Jose Mourinho and AS Roma part ways with immediate effect. It's over. Now, I've been thinking about this all day, and so has a large majority of the Chelsea fans on Twitter. Would you take Jose Mourinho back to Chelsea? That is the big question I have seen on social media recently. And at the moment, I am very unsure. I've looked at it from both angles. I've seen other football YouTubers talk about it. I know Eunice Talks Football is a big advocate for the return of Jose Mourinho. I agree with him on some points. I disagree with him on a lot of points, and I'll get into that in just a minute. But I think the question I really need to answer is, would I take Jose Mourinho back at Chelsea? And to do that, I do need to analyse both sides of the argument. Starting off with the pros. Jose Mourinho is without a doubt one of the best managers to ever coach a Chelsea team. His 04-05 season, that incredible defensive record, it's never been broken. That record's never been broken. I think it was 15 goals conceded the entire season. There aren't many managers out there who understand Chelsea to the level that Jose Mourinho does. You could maybe argue someone like Antonio Conte maybe, or Thomas Tuchel, but but their stints at the club were nowhere near as long and talked about and remembered as Jose Mourinho's. And it's easy to see why Chelsea fans, me included, I do love him, but it's easy to see how Chelsea fans do love him because what we really like in a manager is someone with a bit of personality, someone who's not afraid to speak their mind, to stand up for the team, someone who's not afraid to get animated on the touchlines, who's able to chuck out memorable quotes left, right and centre, and that is what Jose Mourinho does perfectly to a T. And since the arrival of this new ownership, I feel like a lot of Chelsea fans, me included, have felt very disconnected with the club as a whole. They brought in Graham Potter, a manager with little experience at the highest level, and who really failed to understand what it actually meant to be a Chelsea manager. He was still walking around with a Brighton mindset. Things will improve, this is a project, don't expect great results immediately. And we have been so used to managers under the Roman Abramovich era, including Jose Mourinho, either performing and getting us results or going out the door. And I think, you know, having been sacked twice, I think Jose Mourinho understands what it means to be a manager under Chelsea, under their peak years, better than anyone. And so I can sympathise and I can see that point of view as to say, listen, the club is in a terrible state at the moment. We have absolutely no personal connection to the manager. We feel very disconnected. I've said this, but we feel very disconnected. Bringing in a familiar face, bringing in someone who has been one of the most polarizing figures during the club's biggest times of success, it is a comforting thought. There is still the old Chelsea there, but I don't think that's Mourinho anymore. Yes, he did win a European trophy with Roma, and he did manage to get to a final in the Europa League. But the way he did that, it was very, I don't know how to describe it. It was prime Jose. It was prime Jose, really. It was park the bus football. It was anti-football. It wasn't clean. It was literally get as many people behind the ball as possible and just boot it out. I mean, I went over the Bayer Leverkusen semi-final game where Roma won the first leg 1-0, and then the second leg, Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen absolutely dominated. I think they had 17 shots to Roma's 1 shot that was off target. It was a one-sided affair, but because they were playing such anti-football, they went through to the final. And at the end of the day, football is a results-based business, and Jose Mourinho is one of the managers who encapsulates that to a T. He doesn't necessarily play his football to wow crowds, he plays his football to win games. At the moment, we have been struggling with winning games, but I also don't think he'd bring in the tactics that would help us in the long run either. At the moment, we have Pochettino, who I did do a tactical analysis before he joined, and I looked at his time at Spurs, and I was very impressed with what he was doing. But we've not seen that here. We haven't seen anything from what made him great at Spurs here. And I think one of the last things this squad needs is someone who's not going to bring a tactical prowess with them, who's not going to teach them new things to help them find patterns of play, to help them with their movement in the attacking areas, to help them in the midfield, decision making. I don't think Jose Mourinho helps that. I think there is a time and a place for Jose Mourinho, and I think that time and place has passed. I do think this is a new era of Chelsea, and I disagree with how much time managers are getting when they are underperforming to a massive level with little progress shown. But I don't think that warrants Jose Mourinho being brought in. Football is a romantic sport, and round 3 for Jose Mourinho would be one of the most romantic final chapters to a tale regarding a manager's relationship with a club that could possibly be. In one of our worst times, we bring back Mourinho and we win something. Imagine that happens. But I just don't think it's the right course of action now. And again, I do understand that people disagree with me, but that's just my thoughts. I just don't think now is the right time for Mourinho. Under different circumstances, maybe. Maybe if we had a far more established side, where there was a nice even mix of experienced and youth. But this youth, it needs tactical education. It doesn't need anti-football. It just harms them, in my opinion. It would harm their development. And so my final verdict for Mourinho to Chelsea is, no, I just don't think it's the right choice right now. And moving on to the final news story of the day, I think I've said my piece on Jose Mourinho. Wolves are exploring a move for Armando Broja. Wolves' preference would be a loan plus option to buy. Chelsea are tracking Napoli's Victor Osimhen, regard Brighton's Evan Ferguson as a long-term target, and have been linked with Aston Villa's John Duran. Now, I'm just going to say right now, Aston Villa's John Duran, absolutely not. Not what we need right now. Not what we need right now. Osimhen, of course, massive advocate for that move. I think John Obi Mikel has been working tirelessly behind the scenes trying to convince him, along with Didier Drogba, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, fellow African striker and Chelsea legend. And I've already given my piece on Evan Ferguson in the last video. If you want to see it, check it out. But yeah, Wolves going in for Broja. This would open up an avenue for a striker. And we did have rumours earlier today. This came in from Record Portugal Breaking. Chelsea had submitted a bid with a fixed fee of 80 million euros plus 5 million in performance-related bonuses for striker Victor Gyokeres. But Sporting Lisbon have asked Chelsea to meet the 100 million euro release clause. And now I have, of course, already gone over Victor Gyokeres on the channel. I've analysed him. I've compared him to another target at the time, Santiago Jimenez. And I came to the conclusion that he's a very good striker, but I do think Jimenez would be the better option for what we need right now. I think we need a penalty box striker and not necessarily a striker who can create everything for themselves. Although it would obviously be amazing to have Gyokeres. I just think right now we need someone who's much more tailored to scoring goals instead of creating them. So Wolves are interested in Armando Broja. What are your thoughts on that? And let me know in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on Jose Mourinho? Would you take him back at Chelsea, yes or no? I'm saying no. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been The Quick Take, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.